Welcome to Washington Football Week with your host, one half of that dynamic duo, Sean Spencer, and South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer.
Don't play us if you're undefeated.
Where we celebrate past success while looking to a bright future. There's a youth movement in Washington, and they're ready to take the reins. Led by fire.
Play aggressive, D.
It's a new day. New dawn. No longer the laughing stock. It's time to take command.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And you know what day it is. You know what day it is. It's Wednesday, baby. Happy Hump Day! And that means I'm with my guy. You see him right there with the S-K-I-N-S on the chest. South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer. What up, Will?
Yo, that intro that you put there, that when you made some changes,
Yes, sir.
that gets me hyped.
Yes, sir.
That kind of gets me hyped. And maybe it's because we've been so sporadic this offseason, but I see that I'm like, when's training camp? Like, let's go. Come on, let's get here.
We are back, man. We are back. Look, it is middle of June, late June. We're getting close to, summer is getting hot. We're getting to that time where we're starting to think about football. We're post-draft. And Will, there's not a lot out there, but there's been a couple things. The schedule release, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Some rumors here and there, some signings and releasings, all this type of stuff. But Will, let's start right away. Let's talk about kind of the puff, the stuff that it would be great if it happened, but how true is it? How true is it? Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco 49ers, who's a second-team All-Pro, had balled out last year, is apparently kind of looking to get out. I know that there's been a lot of talk about him being traded. Will, him and Jaden Daniels, ex-teammates, close, yeah. So what's going on here?
It's like the rumor that just won't die. Prior to the draft, there was stuff, the 49ers potentially looking to get rid of him. JD5 and him are friends. They go on Instagram Live every once in a while. And apparently he had this little nugget just saying that, like this week, I think something about they're trying to get rid of me. They don't want me here. And it just started the buzz again. Is Washington going to go after him? Would other teams? Should Washington go get him? What's it going to cost to go get him? So it's just like this rumor that just won't go away. I don't know.
Ooh, I mean, look, we already know about the connection. We already know Jaden Daniels and Brandon Ayuk played back at Arizona State all those years ago.
Yeah.
So this would be good. You have Ayuk that could help a younger, well, I don't want to say younger, same age as Jaden Daniels, but could help him kind of get acclimated to the NFL. Talk about security blanket. That would be a perfect setup and situation. But how true is this? Because I've heard a lot of talk that Brandon Ayuk, they looking for a number one, a first rounder for this guy. Is that true? I mean, what are we talking about?
I think I did hear that. I heard that San Francisco wanted a first rounder. They didn't get it for the draft, so therefore there was really nothing to listen to. I also heard that he turned down a $26 million offer. I mean, he wants to get traded and get paid. Yeah. He turned down $26 million a year, and he wants to match Amon-Ra in the 30s. So he's not going to be inexpensive. Here, I'll say this: everyone can say that Ayuk would be an upgrade for us.
Right,
Okay,
right.
absolutely. I will say this. I think we've got a new group in charge. I think if it was the previous owner, he'd be in DC by now with a press conference.
Already done it, right?
He would have already fallen
did.
for it. But I don't think this owner and this general manager are willing to follow every single thing that the new rookie quarterback wants.
Yes.
And so I don't see this happening. I feel like that might have happened before the draft if they were gonna do it. I mean, I did listen to a pod. John Keim had somebody on from San Francisco, and he said that San Francisco values Ayuk more than they do Debo because of his route running ability and his connection with Purdy. Whereas Debo's the gadget player, the short toss, let him take it the rest of the way. Whereas they view Ayuk as a little bit more as a receiver. So that he said, to your point, you're going to need a first-round pick to get them to think about things.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So there's that. They also talked about the fact that he's still under contract. They can give him a fifth-year deal, or maybe they've already offered him the fifth-year deal. So it's not as if he's not on their team for a little bit. It's not like he's going to be a free agent immediately. But my biggest thing for me is why would this happen now? San Francisco's in the road to win a Super Bowl. This guy could help them do it. Why, if you only get to keep 53 players, I feel like you wouldn't get rid of one of those 53 at this point of the year. You would have done it where you can select before the draft who's going to be his replacement.
Exactly. And that's what I feel, because more so than that, we talk about this guy as second team All-Pro, but he stays on the field. One of the reasons they like him a little bit more than Debo, because Debo's injury history, Brandon Ayuk stays on the field. But another thing that I think is key and that I think is getting overlooked in that offense, your wide receivers have to block. Brandon Ayuk is a very good run blocker on the outside. And that, I think, is huge, and it definitely brings up his value. In my opinion, I mean, this is why this is a rumor. If I'm San Francisco, I'm not that. This is my guy. This is one of the guys that I'm locking down. I'm not letting this guy go. He's a security blanket for Brock Purdy out there. So I would love to have him, but yeah, I definitely do not think there's chances that he's coming this way. But
right. Well, I feel like there was some talk of, they drafted Ricky Pearsall. You're right, they did.
Yeah,
but I still go back to the part of you're only going to get to keep 53 on your roster. Why, if you're a Super Bowl contender, would you be dropping one of those guys right now? That's just and like you said, think about it from San Francisco's perspective. Right now, there's rumors going, would you give up a second and a fourth? Now let's flip this. You're San Francisco, Sean. I'm offering you a second and a fourth for Brandon Ayuk. Will you take it?
Of course. Yeah, come on.
Or are you going to tell me to go kick rocks?
Right? Come on now. Yo, what's going on, Ben?
Oh, shit.
This guy. Let's go. Well, hey, there, already know it's out there. People, this is something for people to talk about. We'll see how that pans out. But as for now, not
this is the splash that Alex Stevens wants.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. He's still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let's move right along. The kicker situation, obviously, we ended the season with Joey Slye, then got rid of him and got Brandon McManus from the Broncos, and we felt kind of good. And then the allegations came out about him, released him kind of quickly. Now we got a couple guys in a little battle. Talk to me about this. Who do we have?
Sean, this is not good.
No.
This is not good. And the reason why I don't like this is the fact that we selected. I'm just only going to look at it from a football perspective. He has to deal with the assault allegations, and he can deal with all that. But from a football perspective, we picked who our kicker was going to be in March, and they signed him to a deal, and now he's gone. So it's now it's June. And we're going to have to figure out who's going to be our kicker for next year, because the guy we picked is no longer on the roster. Not because of injury, because of something coming out. And we've said we're not going to deal with this. So that's the part that I don't like, and we got to figure something out. They brought in a guy named Ramiz Ahmed, who has done kickoffs in the league before with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
But he's never kicked field goals. They brought in the stud of the spring, Jake Bates from the UFL, but he has since decided to sign with Detroit.
Oh.
And then they brought in some guy that by the name of Andre Smith.
Yep.
So
out of Syracuse.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you know who he is, because I'm sitting here going like, people had problems with Joey Sly. Are we in another like Chris Blewett situation? Are we bringing in Scott Blanton to kick field goals here? This is concerning.
It is. Look, I will say this. Smith has range. Okay, he has consistency. It's very accurate. I think he went a certain run of like 21 straight field goals over 40 yards. The guy can get it done. And in the Debo Babers tenure over at Syracuse, they had success at certain parts, but most of it was the opposite of success. So he was kicking a lot. You had Danny DeVito, not Danny DeVito, but Tommy DeVito was their quarterback over there for a couple of years. So they were, if they weren't running it, they were definitely getting the kick. So he can get it. What he is now, we shall see. But like you said, it's it's back and forth. Ben said, I'm hearing some former Dolphins kicker from the 80s is currently available.
Is it Pete Stoyanovich? I'll take him.
Yes, I will definitely take that guy. I'm glad you know this. EK, what up, man?
Well, I will say this, because I had listened to a couple pods and they talked about this. Dustin Hopkins was signed in October. Mm-hmm. Tress Way was signed in August. Graham Gano we brought in December. So it's not like there will not be kickers available. There's a bunch of kickers on rosters right now. There's only going to be 32 jobs, and so people are going to become available. You could get some veterans. Randy Bullock is out there now. Obviously, if they haven't brought him in, they probably don't feel that highly about him. So there will be names. I keep thinking about, remember that dude who was lights out for the Ravens a couple years ago, like Jake Barrity or something like that? Remember he was, huh?
Is he around? Is he?
I don't, not right now. He's probably with somebody for training camp. So there's going to be a chance in August. Most of the reporters are like, they'll get their guy in August. But still, my biggest concern is the fact that they selected McManus in March during free agency. And because of his stupidity, whatever actions, whatever he gets in trouble for, or cleared of, the fact that he's not going to be on the roster it's just not, it sucks. Not good.
Puts us in a pickle, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward, but this will definitely be something to keep our eyes on. Daggone kicker situation after we thought that we were straight.
Right.
But look, we're gonna move on. OTAs is happening. Obviously, rookie minicamp and all that went down. So we're starting to get to now where there's about 40 or 50 of the younger guys out there together. And look, I will go into this first, Will, because obviously I was the one who had my North Carolina stuff. Drake May was my guy. I was very skeptical of JD5. But what can I say? I've seen the tape. I've seen the press conferences. I've seen everything that he's kind of said. The guy puts in work. On his flight back, he's sitting here studying the playbook and getting down. I respect that. If you're somebody that's about the grind, it's about the hard work and dedication, I'm all for that. But then you get him on the field and you watch him, that release, just that quick release, just that posture, how he has it. One thing that I really love, though, and watching some of the clips and stuff, he has this anticipation. He's seeing the route. As soon as that guy hits the top of his route and makes that move, the ball is out. And obviously he's not up against that much. And some of those it's the 7-on-7, so there's no pass rush, things of that nature. But it's one of those things where it's like when you see it in front of you, it's kind of like, okay, he can work with some of the guys that we have. They showed some of one of the passes where he hit right over the shoulder with a fade, and it was just like, ooh, just dropped it right in there. But I think one of the biggest things that I appreciate is that he definitely downplays all of the hype that he's getting. Oh, everybody's, oh, you're this, and look at the energy. Look what you bring, your maturity, all that. But he said, just we're in house, we're working. We haven't played a game yet. This is the type of things that I want to hear. Cautiously optimistic. I will always say that because of what we've seen. In my mind, I'm still saying RG3 2.0. But with that RG3, there was that excitement. There was all that. If we can have all that without the injuries and maybe some longevity, I am with it. My mind, I'm starting to get on board. We still got to play my guy Drake May in the last preseason game. Yeah. So I might become a New England fan. I don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, man, I'm excited what I'm seeing. I love the hype. I love it all, but I love that he just seems to be mature. He seems to have his head on straight, and he seems to just kind of get it. And the fact that you have Cliff Kingsbury, the fact that you have Dan Quinn doing their thing, like it's meshing. It feels good, but again, it's just June. Call me in 3 months, in September and whatnot.
Yeah, no, you're right when you talk about. I mean, there's some things that are worth getting excited over. You're hearing about his work ethic. They say he's the first guy in the building, just like he was doing at LSU. He's beaten everybody. Him and Luke McCaffrey are the first two guys to show up, and they start running routes together. I know, absolutely. I love the line he gave where someone said, "How do you feel being, new guy in town, star quarterback?" And he said, "I'm not a star quarterback. I'm a rookie quarterback." They didn't let him go to the draft day party, and so that I was wondering how that was going to play out. They were really trying to say, like, you're a rookie, like you're not the RG3 rookie year hype that came in, exactly. All that stuff. But he seems to be embracing it. And it may also be the type of player that he is, for all we know, where he's more of a let me show you rather than tell you type right. thing. I've heard some of the things. I loved it when you talked about his decisiveness. Terry McLaurin said, "Oh yeah, sometimes at the top of your routes, you got to turn your head because the ball's coming." Exactly. He seems to have caught on a little bit already, but this is, as Doc Walker famously calls it, this is the underwear Olympics right now.
Yep.
So,
Miss Reyes looked great at this time of the year.
Exactly. And the defense is, not hitting. They're not even putting pressure. They're not even tapping him right now. Like, there are times where they are stopping their rush, and the reporters are saying that should have been a sack. That play would not have happened. And there were a few times they said the defense did some things to throw some looks to confuse him around the red zone, and it worked, as it should. It's early on, but right. You're hearing enough snippets from the reporters that go, hey, this guy might be fun to watch, where it's easy to start buying in, though. It's easy, excited.
Yeah, and look, even me, who was on the other side, it's just kind of like you just can't help but just be like, oh, what? Oh, really? Okay.
I gotta hear that, Sean.
Look, at the end of the day, man, look, it is a Heisman Trophy winner. It is somebody that has played at a high level, but he also does have years on him. Okay, he's in college for 5 years. You know what I mean? He's had injuries. We still know he's injury prone. You know what I mean? I've seen people and have talked about, maybe some of his cons, that he's an elite rusher and everything, but how is he once he breaks the pocket? Is he still looking downfield, or is he looking to run the ball? He can't always rely on that, so I still have things, I still have doubts, but I think that's what we need. He's not perfect, and I love that his mindset is where it is and how they're treating him, because you're not up here. No, you are down here. Let's get to that place where we can slowly build and grow. But then I look at some of the fact of how mature he is, and I look at him and his interaction with Tress Way. over the jersey. I mean, Tressway has been by far our best, most productive player for the last several years. And he has earned that number. And I don't know how we've seen actually in that interview how much that meant to him. But for him to give that to, Jaden Daniels, it's a sign of respect. Like, you're here. We are happy that you're here, and let's get to work. And that, to me, it says something to have some of the veterans kind of look at him and say, we're about this, and we respect how you've come in and you seem to be locked in. So it makes you feel good. Now let's make it translate to the field. Let's make it translate to some wins in the fall.
Well, let me tell you why it needs to translate on the field, because the other part I've heard is that Marcus Mariota looks terrible. And they said at the mandatory minicamp, which, by the way, full participation. Amazing how CY99's gone and everybody's showing up. But yeah, they said at the mandatory minicamp, Daniels went trotting out there with the ones at the start. And they're like, Mariota, it does not look good. I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't want this guy signed. So, the fact that we need Daniels to look the part, play the part, and stay healthy. Yeah. But I did hear one thing, Sean. This is the time to get excited. Could this be the chance for De'Ami Brown? Could this be he finally has himself a quarterback? They've made some connections. They've hit on deep ball, Sean.
That's the ball, man. Come on, no, you.
maybe
I can't give him a pass anymore. I can't. He had quarterback. He had his guy, and you still not make him look.
A whole nother level. He was open. His guy couldn't get him the ball. Maybe.
Well, it's funny because in some of those Brandon Ayuk trades, De'Ami Brown was the trade bait. He was the
that's trade bait. That's sure trade bait.
I mean, hey, all right. It's an extra piece of the puzzle. Look, why don't you go out there and just dominate, man?
So it was toilet paper,
Oh, wow. Okay. So, look, and we'll see. Obviously, there's going to be more conversation, more talk, more hype about this. In my opinion, I want to call out our guy Ab, where it's just like, stay healthy. Stay healthy. Make it to game one. Get your progressions, continue to study. And one of the things I do like is that we're going to start having some, I believe, joint practices. Are we going to, they're going to go joint with like Miami and stuff. So Jets, And see, that's something that I remember as a kid, I loved to, see if I can get over there, see if that, we can see those. Sometimes they televised.
They would scrimmage the Steelers.
Yes. I love that.
Because we were up in Carlisle. Yep.
So, yeah, definitely love that. So we will see how that all plays out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more thing for you, but real quick, we're going to take a quick breather. We got a new upcoming, actually, he's not up and coming. He's our guy. He's our guy from Washington Football Weekly, and now he does the show Washington Offseason Update. I can't remember. I'll get to you in a second. Anton Benson. You know you love him. He travels. He does good work. Check us out.
Hello, ladies and gents. It's Anton, your local awesome artist. Just here to let you know it's summertime. Projects need to get done. Are you being lazy on them? So if you got indoor projects, outdoor projects, like this pergola here, just got painted. Call me. I'll have your job done. See you later.
Yeah. So check out my guy Anton Benson, awesome artisans. He lives in the 757 Virginia Beach area, but he definitely will travel and do the job. Or even if he cannot help you, he will help assist you to get somewhere else, somewhere where who can help you.
That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So definitely, and check him out on Awesome Artisans on awesome_artisans on Instagram. He's on there, so you can see a lot of the work that he does. Eric, what up, Eric? making a great point. Sam Hartman still hanging around in QB3. That's what I meant. I thought you were going to say. Since Mariota is going to fall out of the place, number 3 is going to come up to number 2, and Mr. Hartman is going to be a great backup. Oh yeah,
I mean that's the goal. That is a hope by all means.
All the single moms and the MILFs in the DMV are definitely hoping he sticks around. All right,
you right.
Let's get it. All right, man. Well, look, we definitely want to talk to y'all about the schedule. The schedule already came out, so we're gonna give you a way too early look at it and just kind of run through like our ideas of kind of how it plays out. As you can see, we start at Tampa. We then go to we come home for New York, 2 away games at Cincinnati and then Arizona. Come home for Cleveland. Go up the road to Baltimore. Come home for Carolina and Chicago. Go to New York. Come back for Pittsburgh. Go to Philly. Come back for Dallas and Tennessee. Then go to the Big Easy in New Orleans, come back for the Eagles and the Falcons, and then end the year going to Dallas and our preseason. Go to the Jets, go to Miami, and then Drake May comes to DC. Will, let's start early. I mean, obviously this is an interesting schedule. I kind of like this schedule. I mean, I only see a couple games where honestly, last year I think. Well, maybe not last year we could have won, but I feel good about the schedule. What are your thoughts? Let's start early with the Tampa Bay game.
Tampa Bay is going to be a fun one. Everyone can say that. Did they make the playoffs last year?
They did.
I think they did. I did as well.
They lost to who did they lose? Detroit. They lost to Detroit the second week, I think.
Okay. Well, regardless, on paper they've got a better team than we do. That's known. But what we have is the element of surprise. We have a new coach, a new offense, a new defense. They have no tape on us. New quarterback. That's going to be so like there's nothing for them to be studying right now to try and figure out because you don't know what defense Dan Quinn's going to have installed. We don't have the same personnel he had in Dallas. You don't know if Cliff Kingsbury is actually going to run the air raid or what's he going to try and do. And so I think that's going to give us a chance to make this game way more competitive than what it would be if we're waiting on week 10 or week 15. Yeah. I think it's a completely different ball game to where I think it's going to come down to, a kicker being involved in the win for whichever team is involved. So I think that makes this game, because it's week 1, I think it's winnable. And so I'm going to give us that hype of I know it's in Tampa Bay, but it's Dan Quinn's first game. Yeah. I think we're going to win it.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I don't know. For me, I kind of thought we were going to lose it. I honestly feel like I think it's going to take us a little bit of time to kind of get on our wheels. And like you said, they have a better team than us, in my opinion. My whole thing is looking at, those 2 wide receivers of Godwin and big man. Mike Evans, and I'm looking at our corners right now, and I'm like, Forbes, St. Juice, you know what I mean? If they get going, throwing that ball up in the air, I think that could be a problem for us. I do like our quarterback. I'll say that. I'm still our O-line. Look, we still have holes in that O-line, although it's a little bit different. A lot different than what it's been before. We still have holes, and I'm still kind of like, is Jaden Daniels going to be running for his life? So I think that game could, like you say, could go both ways. But I think we might lose that game by like 7 or 10 or something like that, just early, just because I think we still we need time to get those kinks out.
Sure.
Coming into that second week, where we're playing the New York Football Giants at home, the home opener, 1 o'clock. This is the one where I think Jaden Daniels goes off. I think he has a great game in this game, and I think we're able to I honestly think we're able to manhandle New York. I think we're able to kind of just get up on them early and just continue to kind of wear them down late. So I'm going us with a victory on this one. What do you think?
Same thing. I think we've got the advantage of having a head coach who has come from an organization that did well against New York. We've got a passing game coordinator who came from a franchise that had, success against the Giants playing for Philly. So, and I mean, the Giants are our Achilles heel. We always play terrible against them, but this is a new regime. They've got experience going against these guys, and I think it's a home opener. It's too much hype, especially if we lose to Tampa to right the ship. That I think we're going to win.
Oh yeah, and this will definitely be big. And that home opener I think is going to be huge. I think Josh Harris is really going to have some major attention this year with everything that's new.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really going to put in time into that. And just for a second, it feels so good to have an owner that's really, willing to put in some time and effort into making that experience for the fan good. Not only just being there at the game, but actually trying to make them want to come back.
Sure.
Then we have two away games, starting with the Cincinnati Bengals, a Monday night game in Cincinnati. What do you think, man? Joe Burrow back, Higgins, Jamar Chase, what you think?
I do not think we're going to win this game. I think they are a better team than us.
Yep.
And so, I think Cincinnati's going to get it.
Yeah. It goes back to those wide receivers, man. Jamar Chase, and I mean, if they keep T. Higgins, I think they're just going to be throwing all day on us, man. And and with their additions on defense, I gotta agree. And then next, going to Arizona, and this is where I think we can run away with this one. Although in games that I think we should run away with, we normally keep it close. Like the last time we played them, we just barely beat them. So I think we'll get the W in this one because I still think they're in shambles, but they do have a couple pieces that might pose a little bit of a threat. But I got us winning this one. What do you think?
I do too. I mean, I don't think we're going to have as easy a game as we did in week 1 of last year, where we should not have won that game because they'll have Kyler with this one. But, Cliff Kingsbury going up against the franchise has fired him. I think he's going to be a little fired up to go up against them. And he probably knows some of the things on defense to say, do this. Kyler struggles at this, so I think that might help us out.
Oh, yeah. Cannot wait for that one. Then we have a tough 2-game stretch where we have a home game against the Cleveland Browns. And at this point, Deshaun Watson's supposedly going to be back. We know he's been working out a lot and working to get back on that field. We know what their defense is, and assuming that they're healthy, this is one of the first, really formidable tests that we're going to have. I think we struggle with this defense. I think we lose this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of the first times I've ever said I'm worried that we can play against Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's really not a thing. But I don't think we're going to win a single game against the NFC or AFC North. So, I've got us losing to Cleveland too.
Yep. And then going into the bank, I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to hit up Nate on anything.
No, he's not allowed on the show.
Right. I think we're definitely losing that. But then we get a reprieve. Hopefully, we don't know what the potential new look Carolina Panthers will look like. Year 2 of
year 1, Dave Canales.
Year 1, Dave Canales. Year 2 of Bryce Young.
Oh, Bryce Young, you're right.
At quarterback. What still rebuild mode. Obviously, with Dave Canales' his first year. What do you think? What do we think we can expect here?
I think we should expect a win. I think by the fact that it's week 7, whatever early season adjustments Canales has made and impact that he's made with Bryce Young, I think there's going to be enough film out there we should be able to handle them. And if we lose to Carolina, well, season's kind of doomed at that point.
Yeah, we can just call it quits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big. And then, speaking of games that made us call it quits a year ago, the Chicago Bears destroyed us last year, and we get a rematch to a new look Bears team that on paper looks deadly. What do you think was going to happen in this game?
I mean, the NFL is going to want to hype this up. I can't believe it's just a 1:00 game. Number one versus number two overall draft picks. So I think it's just going to be a fun game. Like you said, on paper, the Bears, look to have made a pretty big impact, a big change. I mean, it can't get worse than it did last year. So maybe it'd be something a little bit closer to the time when we were in Chicago on that Thursday nighter. So I'll have
12-7. I don't want that either.
Well, I mean, no, but maybe close score-wise, it could be closer.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm expecting. That's what I told Nick and then told Delilah. I said, I'm expecting us to kind of both guys to kind of show off, because I think it, like you said, it is going to be nationally televised. I think people are going to really put some attention on that in the coming week. So I'm excited to see it. Honestly, it could go either way. I've said to Nick that I think that they would beat us, but I can see us winning as well.
If you follow the OTAs, Caleb Williams looks terrible. So
right,
we're gonna beat him.
Hey, well, there it is. There it is. We got the dub. Then we go to New York. They try to get the rematch. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good about us. I think this year we win the games we're supposed to win, and I think we sweep the Giants this year.
I can't see us sweeping the Giants, especially up in New York. I mean, they may be terrible unless by that point they're starting to implode again with Danny Dimes. I'll give the Giants this one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And knowing our history with them, that is very believable. I completely understand that. And then back to your point earlier about us going over against the AFC North. We play Pittsburgh at home. I think we put up a little early rush, but I think turnovers get the best of us. I think Pittsburgh takes us. What you think?
That's a good way to look at it. I actually didn't realize that when I was going through this was the game I have us winning it. I think you say it right that their defense is going to be the challenge. I think people are overhyping who Pittsburgh is right now. I think they overhype who Pittsburgh has been. They've been mediocre. Like they hype up the fact that Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing records, but he's also had some really just mediocre teams. Yeah. And Russell Wilson was terrible in Denver. Now, although if you look at some of the numbers and compare them, they say, well, maybe it was more Denver's roster was bad. But I don't know. I think Pittsburgh is the fourth best team in the division, maybe third at most. And so there's a chance. I mean, but the problem's going to be this will be what's it called? Heinz Field South, for them. There's going to be, you can already look at the tickets. This is the most expensive game to buy tickets to because they know Pittsburgh fans are A, going to travel, or B, already live in the D.C. area to go to. So that part's going to be challenging, and they could have some, a defense at that time that's playing well. That could be challenging. So I think you have a good prediction, but for some reason I put this in as a win.
I can see it. We then go to their Pittsburgh's neck of the woods and Pennsylvania and play our rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a Thursday night game on Prime Video, 8:15 against Philly. This is another loss for me. I think we lose to Philly. It's just we're not ready yet. But it's going down. It's getting to that place where it's cold outside. We know. I think we overlook Philly for the Dallas Thanksgiving game. What do you think about the Philly one? Yeah,
no, you're right. I'm with you there. We're not going to beat Philadelphia. It's a nighttime. I'll be getting to bed at a decent time.
Right. It's like no, we're good. I'll look at the notifications on my phone. You know what I mean? Then we have the Dallas game at home on Thanksgiving weekend.
I don't think Thanksgiving's late this year. So we played them on Sunday. I think Thanksgiving is like late.
Is it 26th, 27th? So
28th or something? We play them on the 24th. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. So it's not the Thanksgiving game.
Oh, okay.
Thanksgiving's on the 28th. It's the week before that.
Oh, that's okay. I see. Because
it looks like it would be normally, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, why is there a bye? But it's Thursday, and then the next game is Sunday, so it's really like
You
13
get 10 days off. Yeah.
or 10 days off. Yeah. So then you have that one. All right, then the Dallas game, where I got the dub. What'd you say?
Oh, yeah. Dan Quinn's first game against Dallas in DC. He's winning this game.
This is it. This is the one he wants.
He's gonna be looking at all those Cowboys fans saying, "Look what you lost. Look what you lost."
Maybe talking to some of those guys like, "Hey, any of you guys want to come on? Come on."
Hey, Micah, how long? How much longer?
I'm telling you.
Micah's gonna look over and be like, "I'm ready. I'm ready to join."
Go ahead, switch the jersey right now, man. We got you.
We'll put you in 5-6.
Right. Oh, the Arrington. All right. And then we December 1st play at home. We play the Tennessee Titans. Last time we played them was a couple years ago when Carson Wentz threw the interception on the last play of the game. I was there, and I was rooting for Carson until that moment. Because he almost threw an interception on that drive earlier, but it was dropped. So I knew it was coming. But in this one, they've had a lot of off-season moves. I mean, they've made a number of additions. I still don't trust the quarterback as much. I think we're going to win this one.
I'm with you too. Yeah, I think. It's like because it comes down to like you're looking at games, you're looking at who scares you. Like Will Levis, doesn't really scare me. So yeah.
Then we have our bye week, week 14, a late bye week, which. If we're on that playoff hunt, then that could be good to get everybody healthy going into playoffs. Then we go to New Orleans, another one where I don't really trust Carr at quarterback. I will see what happens with Kamara. They've taken some hits on defense. I think we can get this W.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely a winnable game. I think New Orleans, just on paper, looking at the division, could be playing for a division title, battling it. So they may have a lot at stake. And so for right now, I've given New Orleans the win, but I definitely think that this is something that's going to be a fun one to go to, especially coming off a bye like that.
Oh, yeah. And then the 22nd, we play Philly at home. This is where, for me, I think we get our revenge. I think we get this victory at home, and that's definitely helping us down the line.
Wow. That would be certainly nice. I don't have us beating Philly. I have us getting swept this year.
Oh, I understand it. This, going back to your point earlier about New Orleans being in that race, I do think Atlanta will also be in that race. And I do think we take a loss in this one.
I do too. I don't think that Atlanta is that much better than us, especially on paper. But we've beaten them 2 years in a row where neither one of us have been very good. I just can't see us getting three wins in a row against them in those types of situations. They should have beaten us 2 years ago in the slop when they threw that interception, when Mariota threw the interception at the end of the game. And so, I think Kirk Cousins is going to come back to DC and win another one.
Again. It's going to be his favorite thing to do. And then for the late game, the last game on January 5th in Jerry's World, all the hype is going to be there, and I just think we're going to lay an egg on it. I don't think we're going to pull it out. I think we're losing to Dallas. I still think they are the better team at the moment. I don't think we're going to take that one.
I think Dallas has something to play for in that game. I think Philly will have the division. First time we're going to have a back-to-back division winner. But I just feel like Dallas is going to be playing for some type of playoff positioning. Who would they play in the wild card, that type of stuff. Could you get the number 4 division winner? That's the easier game than going up, playing the 3 seed. And so I think we're going to lose that one.
So that is what it is. What is your, from what you had graded out, what was your?
I have us at 7-10, which I was proud of myself for not going 9-8, 8-9 like I always do. Mostly because I have us losing 4 straight at the end, which is kind of rough. That would certainly be a rough way to end the season. And like you said, with New Orleans, that's going to be a really fun game. So that could easily be the one that flips. But I just looking at some of the last 3 games, it's like, ooh, those are going to be a tough way to end the season.
Yeah, I had us 8-9, so still losing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely those last two are going to be, if you get those W's, then it propels you in. But I just think I don't think we're there yet.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, we got to think about, like, right now in Vegas, I think we might be at 6.5 wins, so they've got us pretty low. But if we get 6 wins, if you get 7 wins, that doubles what we did last year.
Exactly.
So you got to be looking at some incrementally, like, building the roster, how we'd be doing.
And it's for the long game. You got to remember, we're playing for the long game. So get what we get here, keep building, and get it together. So again, and we don't know what's going to happen between now and then. Obviously, at the start of the show, we talked about the Brandon Ayuk trade and the rumors that would happen. We don't know what kind of additions that they will potentially make to the team that will assist or injuries that will, hurt the squad. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Again, way too early, but we're just putting it out there. The schedule has been out. And hey, it's the off season. OTAs are happening. Training camp is coming up. Starting
6
to get
weeks
to that
away.
time. Oh, yeah. Preseason, all that stuff is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know if you can feel it, but it feels good to be a fan. Like, it feels really good to be a fan. And hey, we're going to be here sporadically throughout the off season. Maybe bringing up that your shirt. The name maybe coming back, or maybe some kind of semblance of the picture coming back.
It'd be so
something.
nice. Bring the logo back. Just bring the logo.
Give me something. Give me some connection.
Yeah.
But we will definitely see how it goes. But look, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. We appreciate you guys being here. For my guy, Mr. Will Kramer, you know who it is. It's your boy Sean Spencer. Appreciate all you guys tuning in and watching us. We will see you next time. Stay cool, people.
Welcome to Watching Football Week with your host, one half of that dynamic duo, Sean Spencer, and South Carolina's finest, Will Kramer.
Don't play us if you're undefeated.
Where we celebrate past success while looking to a bright future. There's a youth movement in Washington, and they're ready to take the reins. Led by fire.
Play aggressive, D.
It's a new day. New dawn. No longer